Hey Heartlanders! Today's video, I interview Madison Cheeatow, otherwise known as Jade on Heartland. And she's gonna tell us some really big news about what's been going on with her since season 15 ended. Watch this.
How are you?
How's the weather up there?
It is freezing.
It's
not pleasant. Everything is ice, so it's very slippery.
So where do you live? Do you live in Calgary, or do you live like in Toronto, or?
I live in Toronto.
Okay. So I talked to Aiden yesterday, and he said you live down the street from him.
Is he? I thought he lived in the East End. I live in the West End, but
well,
possible.
Depends how long you think the street is.
Yeah, maybe I live off like one of the longest streets in the city, so definitely, technically, it could be possible.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since season 15 ended?
I'm pregnant again.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I've been kind of out of not really working due to that. So I've started a podcast actually with a friend of mine.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's very, very different genre. It's a true crime podcast actually, so it's like quite scary, I guess you could say.
Is that one of your hobbies or one of your loves? Like, do you love true crime documentary?
Yes, I would say so. So I've been working on that with my friend who's the co-host. Her name is Hannah, and my brother is producing it. And we just put out our, I think, 21st episode, so it's quite new, but it's been like fun, very fun to work on.
So you like doing other kinds of projects? I don't want to say spin off of Heartland.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
And now, is that something we can find in the States? I've been looking for it.
I don't think you can find it in the States. It's all this Canadian content is, that's the number one question that I think everybody gets is like, where can I get this in the States? And it's not an easy answer. It's very frustrating. I understand it's frustrating for me because personally, I don't really understand how it all works, but I know it was put out on CBC Gem, which is like the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation app. So it was streaming on there, and I don't think they sold it to the States, or I don't know if sold is the right word, but I don't think it's available in the States.
Now, why did you guys decide not to continue with Hudson, like another season?
I don't know, because I thought it was pretty great, and it was really fun to shoot, and I enjoyed it, and I think it gave a really kind of different take on the whole Heartland world. Yeah. But for whatever reason, the higher ups decided not to go forward with it.
So let's go back in time. Can you tell us what it was like when you first found out that you got cast in Heartland? And how did that audition go and the casting process?
I actually remember it quite well. And that would have been nearly 10 years ago now. So that's quite a while back. But, it was very exciting to get a role in the show and to know that I'd get to do a little bit of travel for work and everything. But it was originally a 1, maybe 2 episode role that I was cast for. So it was not like, I would have been much more excited had I known what it would have turned into. But it was great. I was mostly really excited to hopefully get on a horse.
So your first character was just Jade, like being this rebellious teenager, and then they sort of expanded it to someone her character is gonna change and become a bronc rider.
Yeah, I think that originally in the storyline, it was supposed to be like she was the daughter of Lara's character, who's the doctor, and she was a potential love interest for Chris Potter, and then I guess that didn't work out, but I stayed for some reason.
People love your character. I have never met a person, people aren't crazy about Lou, for example, but I've never met someone who doesn't like Jade. She's so bold, and she's just a great character. I think
people like her because she started off not very well liked, and I think people always like an underdog story.
Oh, definitely. So you talked about Chris Potter. You work with him quite a bit. What's that like? Is he your best friend on the set, you'd say, or?
I don't know. I'd say he's my best friend, but he's a really great actor to work with. In my opinion, and maybe this is controversial, but I think he's one of the most talented actors on that set. And, working with him so closely over the years that I did, especially in the beginning, he was like a kind of like a mentor in a way, and he took a lot of time to work with me on my stuff, and he directs as well, so it's always great. He's a really, really fun director. I think you find a lot of the time that actors really enjoy directors who are or were actors, because they really know how to work with you.
Right.
So yeah, he's great, and that's why Michelle is so great too. And she directed Hudson and stuff. It's like a really relatable person to be your boss, I guess.
So have you been out to, like Amber Marshall, have you been out to her farm?
She's a lovely person. I have been to her farm. I went out actually when we were shooting Hudson, because we were staying very close to her farm, and she invited us out, and I was very allergic to her farm.
Are you allergic to animals?
No, I don't think it's the animals. I think it's something, it's like a very, I don't know what it is, but on a lot of different sets, I think it's something to do with the time of year and some sort of like hay or something. Like a lot of the, and I think it's kind of weaned off over the years, but in a lot of the rodeo stuff, at certain points in the year, I'd get super allergic to the rodeo grounds. And
you don't notice it on the show. Like I remember with Graham Wardle, he was always sneezing and blinking. Yeah, it seemed like he had a lot of allergies. But with you don't really notice it. I'm gonna look for it though now that you said that.
The makeup team had their work cut out for them. They work hard, those ladies. So they've got the drops, they've got the makeup. It's it's terrible.
We're talking about the animals. Like you obviously are on horses a lot, being a bronc rider on the show. Have you had to learn how to ride, or were you already a horseback rider?
I was not. No, I'd probably been on a horse, at a fair or something before, but no, I was not. And they they gave us lessons and stuff, and I think I'm pretty decent as like a just regular walking around. I've gotten to do a little bit more over the years. Alicia actually took me out riding a few times on her horse, and she's taught me a thing or two. They don't let you do too much.
Right, they don't want you to get hurt, and then you can't actually act on the show. You have a broken leg.
Yeah, but Alicia let me go pretty fast.
Now, Alicia, is she your best friend on the set? Because you do work really closely with her, and you have a lot of scenes with her, and she's closer to your age. And
I'd say if anyone on the set was my best friend, it would probably be Alicia. And she wasn't there last year, so that was definitely a big change for me, because when I first started, she was there, and she is much younger than me in real life. But I think the two of us kind of clicked right off the top, even though, I got to the set, I was 18 and she was 10, but I was
8 years. That's not a lot.
Yeah. And over the years, she's become such a awesome young woman, and it's been really nice to see her grow.
So what was your favorite episode? I know you can't tell us too much about season 15 because we haven't seen it down here in the States, but what's your favorite episode over all the seasons?
I like the episodes where I like bronc ride. Shooting them is not as fun because they have to wear so much stuff, but it's really cool to see how they put it together, and how they, put the double, and they do all the tricks, and how they, all the extra ADR that I do, when it all comes together. I really like seeing that too.
It's amazing. So is there anything you're looking forward to in season 16, or like you want the writers to like write a storyline for Jade like a certain way that you would just love?
I'm interested to see. I'm always interested to see what they come up with, because it's never what I think it's going to be. I'd be happy to see her. I'd be happy to see her like as an adult start behaving like an adult, and like seeing where she's going to be living. And
is she still living in Caleb's trailer in season 15?
No.
Okay.
No.
So is anyone like a practical joker on the set? Is there any like funniest moment that's ever happened?
Yes, Wayne Pels. He's the script supervisor, and he's the resident child of the set. He has left horse toenails in my jackets, and he's done every practical joke. I found bugs in my books, and he leaves clips on everybody, and he's the resident practical joker.
How's Heartland like changed your life? Is there anything that's happened on the show, or just being on the set for 10 years in a way that has changed your life?
it's really made me appreciate the, I guess, rural areas of the country that I never really experienced much before. I don't think it's done like one specific thing that's changed my life, but it's definitely affected my life pretty profoundly. Just the experience of it. And I probably never would have been around horses, and horses are awesome.
And then when are you due?
End of June.
If they start shooting season 16, that might be interesting for you because you might be just shown from up here.
Yeah, I think I'll have a little bit of time. I think I just won't be in the beginning few episodes.
I really appreciate you doing this interview with me. It was so cool to meet you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to see it, and I really appreciate you inviting me.
Please like and subscribe for more great videos all about Heartland. And don't forget, keep Heartland strong. Bye for now.